It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theater, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Are you ready for this week's episode, Jim? It's going to be a big one.
I am so excited, and yes.
Excellent. And also we have the Merman. Hey there, Murray.
Yo.
Hey, who are you cheering for Monday night? Rams, Vikings? They're your teams, aren't they?
that's right.
I have a dilemma. Always and always, it won't be the Steelers.
All right.
I'm hoping the Rams, but I expect not.
Oh, I forgot we changed to a sports
Football team.
podcast.
Yeah, we talk a little.
We got to throw it
just
a little
for a
bit,
couple
little
seconds.
bit of everything. We're an entertainment show.
Foosball's almost over, Jim.
That's right.
Is it? I thought it went all year round.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Well, that's new.
Nice. Thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/filmrageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And if it played in cinema anywhere in the world, we'll watch it. All right, let's get to this jam-packed rage fest. Let's get to raging. But first, I'm going to do a quick recap of 2024. Now, I'm going to see if I can do this. Murray, you got a stopwatch? Sure. See how fast I can do this. So I'm going to list down for all of our listeners all the countries that downloaded Film Rage in 2024. And it's in order of our greatest listeners. So the U.S. has basically tripled our listening over Canada. So apparently we're speaking to the U.S. public here for the most part. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. U.S., Canada, Singapore, U.K., Germany, Australia, Finland, Japan, France, Switzerland, Ireland, Russia, Austria, India, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Mexico, Romania, Brazil, Spain, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Iran, South Korea, Morocco, Norway, New Zealand, Peru, Portugal, Slovakia, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Change in music. Belgium. I didn't even know this country existed. Burkina Faso. Algeria, Egypt, Fiji, Greece, Israel, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Latvia, Philippines, Poland, Puerto Rico, Serbia, Saudi Arabia, Thailand, Turkey, Trinidad and Tobago, Ukraine, and finally, Vietnam. So, thank you to all of you who've supported us over the last year. We cannot thank you enough for helping us rage.
That seemed like an alphabetical list to me.
No,
it's not.
That's the way it works.
because the USA.
Well, U.S., Canada, Singapore, UK.
Marca.
Oh, America.
Oh, yeah, America.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this-
the first three are in. First four are in.
No, the
alphabetical
last
order,
ones were
and
like STUV.
yeah,
Anyways,
It's just saying.
It's kind of
let's
fun.
move
Sound
on.
alphabetical.
yeah.
Just saying.
It kind of did a little bit, but
It
you know what?
did.
It's not.
Okay then.
And who
I
knew
believe
that
you.
Singapore was our third
There you
most
go.
popular country? Thanks, Singapore.
Wow. Salute. Oh my God. This is gonna take forever.
What would the Amazing Murman predict? What would the Amazing Murman predict? Will he predict the rage or will he predict the
Mondo.
Will he tell us all what Jim and Bryce saw at the movies over Christmas? You're darn right he will, kids. Because here he comes swimming to you.
Ooh.
Swim, Murray, swim, Murray.
Swim, Murray, swim.
Swim, Murray, swim, Murray.
Swim, Murray, swim.
Swim all the way to our hearts, our little evil hearts.
Oh God. So many movies.
So many movies! So this is actually a small list for us. Sometimes over Christmas we get a lot more than this.
Oh, by spoiler alert, I saw them all, so you'll have to predict me for all of them.
Oh, you saw the one that was only me?
Every single one of them I
Well,
saw.
then, now
You
I-
even went and saw
Now I gotta
Homestead?
change things up.
Saw them all.
Thanks a
Oh,
lot.
damn! Nice.
Now I
Here he
gotta
said he
change
wasn't
every-
going to see them.
Now I gotta change everything.
Oh,
Saw everything.
everything's. Nice. I had a feeling you would.
Okay, well, this is an order that was typed out here.
Got you.
Harbin, which I'm trying to remember what the hell it was about. And only Jim was supposed to have seen it.
Yes.
I have a Mondo here, so it must have been something that he liked in it.
It's Korean.
There it said. That's right. Korean action movie. That's all I had to think.
No, it's a Korean War movie.
It's a Korean War
Yeah, but it was Korean.
movie, yeah.
That's all I had to say.
That's right.
To make it
There
a
you go.
Mondo for you.
Yep.
I'd say, yeah, what the hell. Bryce Mondo as well.
Okay.
The Fire Inside.
Ooh.
A sports movie.
A sports movie?
biopic.
Yes, based on a true story.
Ooh.
Person I've never heard of before.
Sounds like Jim's favorite genre.
He won gold medals and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a sports biopic. I'm pretty sure Jim would have raged pretty hard on this one. Maybe Bryce, since he actually likes sports, would have given it a man.
He likes sports movies.
Yeah, as do I.
Not
And I like sports.
and sports.
Not necessarily boxing movies.
Actually, yeah.
And then we have my personal favorite, Homestead.
Homestead.
Yes, the one that you and Bryce apparently saw.
Yes,
Yes.
Anyway, to see. If you didn't rage about this, I'd be very shocked.
'Cause-
Did you stay for the end?
Oh yeah, I know. There's more to come, Mur.
With the barcode, you can download new episodes. Spoiler alert. Okay, A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan story. Jim loves his Timothy Chalamet.
Shalaboner.
I know he loves the Bob Dylan.
Mm.
So let's say Mondo and Bryce, maybe a man.
Okay.
Babygirl.
Babygirl.
With my girl Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
Being very creepy apparently.
She's definitely your
baby.
girl in this.
Baby.
Double man.
Double man.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, and you got to
Which
see
I've been
this
looking
one.
forward to this for probably 6 months. since I saw
Really?
The trailer.
And I have not.
And I have not as well.
Yes, so let's go meh for Jim and rage for Bryce.
All right.
Mufasa.
Ah,
Yet another Lion
now you're
King
speaking my language.
Double rage.
That's a softball,
Sonic.
Murray.
That's a softball.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yes.
Which Jim Carrey came out of retirement for.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you when you get a script of this quality?
That's right. Double rage. Lord of the Rings, whatever the hell that word
The
is.
War of the Rohirrim?
Rohirrim? I don't know, whatever the hell it is.
Rohirrim?
It's
What, you guys don't speak Elvish?
No.
It's a fantasy movie, and it's directed by some Japanese guy that I know you guys like, so let's go Mondo for Jim and meh for Bryce.
All
right.
right.
Oh my god, I can't believe that.
That's a lot of movies.
That's a lot of movies.
That is outstanding.
We better get to it.
Go to it.
Yeah. All right. So, first one, Harbin.
Harbin.
I've said this once.
Yes.
I've said it 1,000 times.
Okay.
Perhaps the film rage gods, please just let me only see Korean films from now on. I completely disagree with Bryce that we only get good Korean films because the Koreans obviously make bad films. And I say no, because Korea does not have a Hollywood machine based on Disneyfying sequeling
Yes,
and remaking everything. So I feel that good original content films are more
just
the
review
norm
the movie, Jim.
in this. Now, this film, this was beautifully shot. The real landscapes, the real blood, and limited, if not any CGI.
I think there was.
Yeah, there was, but it didn't feel CGI.
Didn't feel really CGI-y.
Yeah, CGI-ish.
That's not a word.
Now,
You're a word.
What's this about? In 1905, Japan decided to take over Korea. And we get a band of resistance army who fight back. A lot of them die, but they decide to kill the president of Japan, who's coming to Harbin.
Prime Minister of Japan, actually. But
Oh, whatever. At the
emperor?
time, who knows? Maybe
he was a prime
Did
minister.
they still have an emperor back then?
Anyways,
They
go
probably
ahead.
did. So Harbin, which is in Russia, to make plans to fully absorb Korea. What follows is a Korean modern-day Guns of Navarone type movie with moles and intrigue and fantastic Korean war epic, which is in line with every single Korean war-based film I've seen prior to this. More things I loved about this. The Japanese evil soldier antagonist was completely epic. The stabby skirmish near the beginning
Hey, I
was
say stabby
also...
stabby too.
Nice, because it was super
There's a lot of
stabby.
stabby,
There's a
stabby.
lot of stabby in this movie. Yeah, so the stabby skirmish at the beginning was
So much
epic.
stabby.
The girl character in this, how about this for an idea, Murray? They made a movie with a woman in it, and she wasn't a love interest at all.
Yeah, but
What a concept.
I'm sure it ended up that way at the end.
she might have been completely out of place in someone's opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessary.
Oh.
I think it was important.
Equality, right?
Yeah, so I absolutely love this movie.
Yeah.
She did.
It was a Mondo for me.
Of course you did.
All right, so it takes place in 1909. The Japanese have been in Korea for a while, and the Koreans want them out. A group of Korean freedom fighters decide that they are going to blow up Japanese Prime Minister Ito in response to the occupation.
Yes.
From here, there are moles and spies and strange meetings with bearded gentlemen where plans are discussed, and then a battle with a lot of stabby.
Yes.
And fighting Russians on trains and internal bickering and more spy stuff.
Yes.
There are a lot of unnecessary characters which
No.
are underdeveloped, like Smuggler Miss Jong, who take away from the time that they could have developed the important characters instead of introducing throwaway ones. Harbin is a beautifully shot and well acted movie, but it is also unfocused with clunky, uninspired dialogue. It really does have the look of a good film, but it is all smoke and mirrors, my friends. Harbin is a rage. This is the first rage I've had on a Korean film, maybe ever. So the statement of we only get their good stuff, apparently we don't.
Well,
Because
for
we got
you-
Harbin, and it was awful.
It was fantastic.
It is a bore fest. You would have slept through the whole thing, Murray.
Probably.
It
It's
was
awful.
Well, I would have been doing the
I
stabby.
hated it.
I absolutely love this. And the person I went with it, who normally doesn't love Korean films, also thought it was
There you
great.
go.
All right.
So that's two.
I
of us.
honestly can't believe you gave this a Mondo.
Oh, wait till you see what it's going to make it on my list.
No freaking way.
Maybe.
Oh, anyways.
Out
Yep.
of the 300 Mondos you gave, it actually made your top 10.
Possibly. Here's what I want to say about this
It
film.
wasn't anywhere near bad enough to make my bottom 5, but that's just because it was some absolutely putrid movies this year.
I feel
Yes.
this brought me back to
What?
the original 1940s, 1950s, 1960s films that you had, the ensemble casts of. I'm used Guns of Navarone as an example because it really felt that way all the way through this. This had the intrigue.
I
It had
thought the
whole spy
cinematography
thing.
and it
was
looked really
brilliantly
good.
shot,
It was
yeah.
just poorly written, and
No.
there's just clunky dialogue.
It was fantastic.
I hated this movie.
I loved it. Awesome. We're starting off with a bang.
Sweet.
All right. Okay.
Next up,
What is next?
The Fire Inside.
Fire Inside.
The biopic boxing movie.
Yes.
Do I have to go first on this too?
I don't care. I'll go
Part of this,
first. I don't care.
Okay,
you want me to go
well,
first?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. The Fire Inside is the story of Clarissa Shields, a boxer. Like so many before her, she fought her way out of the slums to become a world-class athlete. The overplayed cliche of the storyline doesn't benefit from its quote-unquote true nature. This film seems to gloss over the interesting things in the film, which includes the strides this lady made in garnering equal pay for female athletes, all while dealing with a sport where the deck was stacked against women. Instead, we get too much focus on a raw Olympic run that felt shallow in so many ways, especially when it's in the face of the other things that Clarissa seemed to stand for. I don't know if she stand for all this because we didn't get to delve into it deep enough. I just did not like this film. It was a rage.
Nice. All right. Well, let me tell you. As I always say when it comes to sports movies, was it Rocky 1 or Rocky 2? But in this case, it was actually more like Rocky 4
Right.
because she did have to battle a Russian.
Right.
Because it's the incredible
I will break you.
Murray. It's the incredible.
Did the Russian break her?
No.
No one breaks her.
No, she's
'cause the-
Clarissa. She's Clarissa freaking Shields.
The
Exactly.
Russian broke Rocky.
What's her
'cause if you saw
nickname?
Rocky
She's
5,
the T-Rex. She's
Yeah,
a T-Rex.
She's a T-Rex with little arms.
Yes.
So it's the incredible true story, Marie. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
was it the astonishing true story, or
was-
was it the unbelievable
It was
true
just-
story?
It was
Depending
just a
which trailer
story.
you watch.
Or how about it was just a true story
It was just a true story.
of guess what subtext?
It could have been
to
an
movie
interesting true
posters.
story.
They are all just true stories. They're sports movies.
that's
There's
right.
nothing incredible, amazing, or unbelievable about a sports movie. There's not. There's nothing.
They can be.
Never yet to see it.
depending
It's
on
not
how
like
they
Too
tell it.
many.
It's not like this person saved a plane or a bunch of puppies or anything incredible. They just were an athlete and they worked out really hard and then they won. This is not incredible. So, the story of the greatest female boxer of all times from Flint, Michigan. The story is just like every other sports movie, although this one is also super made for TV feeling. And the story is really not that interesting, or at least they didn't tell it the way that they probably should have. Most of what they hint at being interesting isn't really shown, which is to be boring and mundane. The real story, I feel, is the story that we did get some of it about her and her coach, which was a little heartwarming. But it's a sports movie. I didn't really care for any of it, although the acting was okay. It's a super horrible rage for me, too.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it was a rage.
Because nothing wowed me in this at all. I totally agree with you, though. I think, the thing, if she's really responsible on one phone call, by the way.
Well, that's the whole thing. It obviously wasn't one phone call, but this was so lazy in the way they approached all the interesting stuff. As they said, let's wrap this part that's actually interesting in one phone call where she goes, "I want more money," and they say, "Okay."
Yeah, after her
Yeah,
manager.
I'm sure that happened.
Which totally demeaned her manager
Yeah.
after.
Yeah,
at
it's like
everything.
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, no, it was.
It was not an incredible
And the thing-
or
and honestly,
astonishing.
And I don't know what. Apparently, Clarissa Shields thinks this is wonderful, but I think she deserved better. I don't know a whole lot about her, but I know enough about her to know she deserved better than this because she was a figure that made a difference.
Yeah.
Not only lifting women's boxing up, but just lifting women's sports up and for equality. Like she did a lot of good things.
Yeah.
And
I think that should have been the whole movie.
Yeah, and we got this stupid Olympic rah-rah movie that was just. It just
You know
fell
what?
flat.
Maybe she was happy because of that. Who
I don't
knows?
know.
Because
Who
it showed
knows?
how great
Anyways.
she was.
I guess. All right.
I suppose.
If it had showed some of her negative aspects, like of her personality and her life, maybe she wouldn't have liked it as much.
I think it's because she was from Flint, Michigan. She's such a good boxer because I think she probably got superpowers from the polluted water.
Yeah.
Totes.
Yeah.
We got beat up a lot,
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
I think you go one way or the other. You either die or you get superpowers, and she was one of the fortunate ones
Maybe
who
a
got
little
superpowers.
of column A, little from column B,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah. Anyways, that's just one man's opinion. I could be
right.
wrong.
You're wrong about Harbin, so you could be wrong about a lot of things,
I
actually.
am so right about Harbin.
You're totally not.
It is
All
not
right, I guess
good.
it's my
It's
turn.
awesome.
Homestead.
Homestead.
First of all, was not my choice to see this movie.
I hope
My
not.
friend from Toronto was going to it, and I wanted to hang out with him. So that was a sacrifice I made.
So look at you making sacrifices.
It took about 10 minutes into the film, and he turned to me and said, "I think I made a bad pick." That
Yeah,
was 10 minutes into the movie.
Yes.
For those who
I'm
have-
surprised it took him that
10
long,
minutes.
Merman.
Well, he is from Toronto. For those who haven't heard of this movie, it is 100% a religious conversion film.
Nice.
Story, such as it was that a nuclear bomb goes off in Los Angeles. For some reason, this knocks out power in the entire East Coast.
What?
So, zombie apocalypse without the fun zombies.
What? You mean, what? Huh?
There are no zombies, but it felt like
Is
a
this based
zombie
on a
movie.
true story? Or is it an incredibly true story?
No.
Oh.
People are left without power. There's looting and violence, and the super religious people all travel to a compound in Colorado, who are actually equipped with their own militia. Of course, not everybody is allowed in. There are people
No.
outside the gate starving, men with guns to keep them out, and a government lackey trying to get in. What we actually don't get is any violence, bad language, or sex.
Well,
'Cause
why would you?
Like I said, religious conversion film.
What are you talking about? That one chick kissed that other girl on the cheek.
Oh yeah, it was a kiss. That was as far as they went, though.
He gave her a little peck on the cheek.
Yeah,
Whoa.
And I think they were like 17.
I think they were.
Was there any finger banging going on?
No, it's just she got a little
Was there
kiss on,
tongue?
kiss on the cheek.
Did she
That was
lick
it.
it?
No,
Kiss-
nothing.
That was it. That's all the sex they had.
But they
was
were
kiss-
like 17.
They were.
But they were two girls?
No, it was
and
a
a
boy
guy.
and a girl.
Oh, yeah,
girl.
they would never show
But here,
What?
one
What?
was white, one was black.
There you go.
Wow.
It was interracial.
There
There you go.
These conversion films, they're just
Anyway,
bringing us all closer together.
They are making strides.
And they did
man.
a lot of praying for things to happen, and they prayed and stuff happened.
You know what? That's the miracle of prayer. Just
And actually, at the end, as I mentioned, one of the actors showed up after the credits to encourage people to scan the barcode that was up on the screen to download the next episode.
so it was
For a price, of course.
Yes.
Of course. Oh,
So
man,
as soon as you clicked on it, they would say, yeah, the $29.99, you could watch the next episode or whatever. So yeah, it was,
did one of you scan that? I
No.
want to know how much it is.
No.
I don't even know how to scan those things,
no,
buddy.
you don't have a walking around phone anyway.
No.
Yeah, you
Anyway,
can
yeah,
get a
no, it was
Wi-Fi.
like, it was
Can
like
I scan it with
was
my
like a quarter of the screen.
SIM
you like,
card?
Look at you take a picture of it and scan it. But yeah, it's like
Yes.
So yeah, it was like the first episode of a parody entire series.
You've already talked too much about this movie, man.
Yeah, sorry. Well, you interrupted me. That's your fault. This film is so cheesy, so bad, and so fake inspirational. Of
How
course-
bad, cheesy,
of
and
course
inspirational
It was
is
a rage.
Okay.
God, it's so bad.
I also saw this movie. I'm gonna keep it really, really quick. It was
Because Murray did a pretty good job.
exactly,
actually.
and I think all you need to
So
know.
I'd be the only one talking about
All
it.
you need to know is it was approved by the Angel Guild.
There
You
you
get
go.
a disclaimer at the beginning that this movie was approved by the Angel
and it was
Guild.
produced by Angel Films.
Well, it's Angel Films, and the Angel Guild is like the Angel Films
And
fan club.
I don't know
basically.
if when you saw it, you saw like trailers for like 8 different movies that were all produced by Angel Films.
No, I didn't.
They all had like the same kind of a feel to them.
Well, we do
all
know
that-
this production
all
house.
that you need to know is that you just have to believe, Jim. All right, just believe,
Believe.
and God will save you.
That's right.
and that's the entire movie.
But
Jim, no, I don't want to hear it. Just believe, and God will
right.
save you.
Yeah, but could he save this film from being horrible?
No, this was a total freaking rage. I can't believe that people go to this. I realize if you're a super duper Bible thumper, you're gonna maybe eat this
Might
up.
like
I
this,
don't know,
yeah.
but it is
It had
god
that one
awful.
famous actor in it.
Yeah, it had what's his
The
head?
TV guy.
The blonde dude.
He's not a
He's in
TV guy, really.
Minority
He always
Report,
plays a
and
bad
other
guy,
things.
but only a
Not
slightly
always.
bad guy.
He was only slightly bad. In Minority
Neil
Report.
McDonough.
That's the guy.
Sorry, I forgot the name of this movie again. What's it called? Heartland?
Homestead.
Oh, Homestead.
Close.
Not Heartland. Bite your tongue. That's a Canadian treasure. All right.
It is Canadian.
Yes.
Do you want to know, just for curiosity's sake, what the worldwide gross was for this?
I don't even care. It was like $1 billion probably because there's so
Probably.
many bloody Bible thumping.
Down in the States, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, then I won't tell you.
Yeah.
To
I
me,
don't
this
care.
movie was a preview of what might happen in the next 4 years. Down
You know
in
what's
the US.
surprising though is usually these pieces of dog crap that get released are like always like 1,000% on the popcorn meter on Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes, yeah.
Yeah, this one's only 72%.
Only 72.
Which
Probably-
means that people are fighting back against these
fighting
idiots
against-
that are flooding this with going, "Oh, it's the best
Yeah.
movie ever,"
Yeah.
just because it's religious, and
Yeah,
so
the
they're
10
always
out of
100.
10s.
They're always
Thank
100.
God for trolls. If we're
That's
gonna
right.
praise Jesus for anything,
Yeah.
Praise
let's praise him
Jesus.
for the
Yeah.
trolls that
Yes,
are trolling this.
God bless the
Anyway.
trolls.
Yeah.
God bless the trolls, everyone.
Yeah. Double rage.
All right. Nice.
All right.
All right. A Complete Unknown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
I
saw this.
He was you
did
saw
I.
everything, remember?
Yes.
He was a poet,
He was.
groundbreaking artist, and a total dick
Yeah.
who tracked mud on the carpets of the music industry pretty much from day one.
Nice.
This
Impression I got,
film,
too.
this film is a testament
Yes.
to music biographies, and in particular about Bob Dylan and the music scene, and what it could be in the 60s and in the future, and how Bob kept pushing creativity further and evolving it. Not ever have I seen a biopic about a musician that pretty much had non-stop music from start to finish. I loved every single note they played and the performances of everyone, especially my little shallow boner, who I absolutely just thinks he's knocking out of the park every time he gets on the screen. Unlike the other musical we got in December, this one had me singing along for 2 hours and 25 minutes. I absolutely love this film and brought me back to my free love passion for possibly the greatest writer of music that has ever lived. This movie was Mondo. I have just a couple things to unpack, but I want to hear what you two little beauties thought.
Oh, I guess I'm up next.
You are.
Okay, well, I discovered 3 things from watching this film.
All right.
Number 1.
What's
First,
number 1?
Timothy Chalamet is one hell of a singer.
Isn't he?
In addition to his acting skills.
He's a better singer than Bob Dylan.
Second, Bob
That's
Dylan
not saying
was
much,
a
Jim.
big jerk in the 60s.
Yes,
Yes,
he
he
was.
was.
He's
Lastly, I
kind of
found-
never got rid of that.
I don't really care about Bob Dylan, despite his hit songs. I don't care about his life.
Yeah.
This was not for me. Although I did enjoy Chalamet singing. I also don't like Ed Norton. This movie didn't really help with that. I've never liked him.
He was awesome in this.
Whatever.
So good.
To be honest, if it wasn't for Chalamet, this probably would have been a rage.
What?
So yeah, a low man.
What is
All right.
what is going on, Merman?
I don't like Bob Dylan.
Oh my
despise
God.
the character.
But there was so much Bob Dylan in this.
There's so much.
Yeah.
Just the way he treated, women in his
Yes.
life.
Yes, that was Bob.
But that's truth. Like
and his
he,
former best
They
friend who
didn't-
discovered
they
him.
didn't
and-
sugar-
They
Sugarcoat
didn't
anything.
sugarcoat anything
Yeah,
like they do with so many of these movies. A Complete Unknown
Well,
is hard not to like unless you're the merman.
Yeah.
he liked
Timothy
it. He gave it an N.
Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet is convincing as Bob Dylan in look, sound, and mannerisms. Edward Norton is completely mesmerizing as Pete Seeger.
Yeah.
Every scene with Boyd Holbrook as Johnny Cash was beyond
It was so
entertaining.
good.
I did like Johnny Cash.
The music throughout, whether it's Dylan or Seeger or Woody Guthrie or Baez, is perfectly infused into the story. Mangold never blatantly states in this film that Dylan was the voice of his generation, but lets the music do the talking. And if you did not know that about Dylan before this film, you understand the influence he had on not only music, but the world. This film was Mondo.
Yeah, I can't. I've yet to see a biopic musical that is even close to this.
I didn't think this was going to be as good as it was. Like this was fantastic. Like
I had hopes for
this almost made my top 10 for the year. It didn't, but it almost did it.
You know what? It didn't make mine either.
But it
Surprise.
was.
But I really love this film.
Love this movie.
And
Loved
you
it.
know what? What was cool about it is
And
after,
Edward Norton was amazing in
Yeah,
this.
Murray. I'm gonna go with Bryce on this
I
one.
don't like him. I never
And,
have.
like,
What is that? Can you not separate that
No.
from individual performance in a movie, though?
Okay, I had never liked a performance of his. Put it that way.
I don't
Okay.
think
Not
that's what
one.
it is.
not even
Oh.
in Death to Smoochie.
Not one. I never saw that one.
Death to Smoochie. He's
Everything
fantastic.
I've ever seen him in makes me hate him even more.
Murder in the First,
Fight Club.
Fight Club.
He was in Murder in the First,
Yeah,
the Kevin Bacon one.
yeah.
I don't remember him in that.
Oh, wasn't he? Never mind. No, he wasn't.
Because that,
I'm just making stuff
that movie
up.
I love.
I'm just
That was
making-
Christian
I'm just
Slater
making stuff
and
up.
Kevin Bacon. That was an awesome movie.
Whatever.
Anyway, you guys love your.
Bryce-
Instead
good thing
of
Bryce
Primal
knows.
Fear.
I also don't know who the hell.
Okay, there's-
I also don't know who the
That
hell
one's-
Pete Seeger it was. So that
Hey,
made
that
no
was good.
difference to
Okay,
me.
well, you must have known who Pete Seeger was.
No, I don't.
Well,
Never heard
You
of him.
never sang that song. Like he's kind of got one song that everybody knows.
Well, the one song in the movie, if that was his, but
Yeah.
I may have heard it once or twice. I had no idea who he is personally.
I kind of wish we would have saw a little bit of Peter, Paul, and Mary too.
Yeah. And I actually know quite a few 60s
He just passed away.
music,
Just
but yeah, I
recently.
never heard of the guy. Whatever.
But you had heard of Woody Guthrie, though, right?
I've heard that name, but he was like on his deathbed during the movie, so
He was.
Yeah.
Didn't actually get to see,
Those scenes were
didn't
so
actually
good,
get to
though.
see that guy perform as Woody
My
Guthrie. He
God,
just
every
was a
scene in the
vegetable.
hospital room was just
It's brilliant.
so brilliant.
It's so
No, I
good.
like Chalamet, but not much else.
All right. Well, as long hey, got it to a man. It's your happy moment. Okay, so let's talk about your girl Nicole Kidman
Yeah.
with Babygirl.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a take on a film plot as old as time.
Okay.
A woman who took 19 years to teach her husband how to give her an orgasm via stopover via intern at the office. Here's the story. See the trailer. It's 1 minute long and tells the entire whole story instead of seeing this completely boring portrait of a woman who's a CEO of a tech company who likes to be told what to do. No surprises anywhere in this film. We have seen it all before, and even where the woman is the one in power. Many times over, we have already seen women owning their power. And this is what confuses me about this. Is this to show us that women can take a hold of their sexuality? Or was it just to bore us for basically 2 hours, and we see Nicole Kidman have hotel sex with a younger man for most of this. Basically, this has no substance. This is horrible. This was, I think, trying to tell us it's okay that women can, if they have a good reason, anything they want to do to make themselves happy, instead of being honest and reaching their husband and trying to teach him how to pleasure themselves. This was boring. It was way too long. I hated just about every single thing about this movie. I really, really hated it. I don't understand how anybody could watch this movie and think it was entertaining one iota. Like, in contrast to us talking about Queer a couple weeks ago, where you've got fantastic gay sex on screen. We have sex on screen with these two. It felt awkward and weird, and it didn't seem to fit the entire movie.
30-year age difference.
Well, there was a 30-year age difference in the gay sex and Queer too, but anyway.
Correct.
Yeah, I freaking hated this movie. Hated it.
Hated it. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Did you see it?
Get it right. It's wow.
Wow. Babygirl is... Are you ready for
Horrible.
this, Merman? Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's a... Are you ready?
Yeah.
Repetitive mess that takes me back to the days of HBO After Dark, which makes it hard to take it seriously.
What's wrong with that?
Watching Nicole Kidman's orgasm face repeatedly was more awkward than sexy. Every relationship in the film was on some level not believable.
Yes.
Especially the marriage between Romy and Jacob, Kidman and Antonio Banderas.
Banderas.
The conclusions that arise at the end of the film are unintentionally laughable, and the very ending was just kind of dumb. Hated this, and everyone in it rage.
You know what? I forget. Did we see this one together?
We did.
We did. I couldn't stop rolling my eyes through this entire
And honestly,
movie.
I knew you didn't like it, but I try not to let on what I think usually, but holy crap, this was awful.
It was so bad. And here's the thing. We've talked about this before. Antonio Banderas is one of the best Spanish actors that has ever lived.
For some reason, when he talks English,
When
But
he
he's talking
gets
Spanish.
put into English-speaking roles, he's just as horrible as every other American acting in this movie.
yeah,
This was so. There's people that this was like one of their favorite movies of last year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand if they're thinking.
was
Like, I
awful.
don't know if they're trying to like. What I'm thinking that people are thinking is rah for
Girl
Nicole
power,
Kidman
yeah.
for owning her sexuality.
Yeah.
She didn't fucking own anything
no,
in this.
it was just.
She was just a whore.
This was just a
that
mess.
It was, and if she was really trying to own herself, she should have taught her husband 19 years before how to give her an orgasm.
Yes.
How about that?
So bad. So bad.
Nice.
I probably would have gone to it just for Nicole. But yeah, I wouldn't have liked it either. I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe.
Sounded a
'cause
little too 50 Shades.
It was a little 50 shady,
A little
I guess.
bit, I guess. I don't know.
All right, okay. I want to say.
I just
that-
want to wipe frickin' Nicole Kidman's orgasm face out of my brain forever.
Well, speaking of orgasm faces, let's talk about Nosferatu. Now, what's that expression again? Putting lipstick on a pig? Sorry, I mean lipstick on a Dracula. Or maybe it's Romeo and Juliet. Or perhaps it's lipstick on A Christmas Carol. But definitely not Nosferatu. Sure, we all know Eggers' nose atmosphere, which in this is rich and thick as pea soup with atmosphere. And as always, Nick was great and Willem was great, as was most of the cast. But I don't think Lily Rose Depp has the depth this character needed. And it was definitely obvious compared to the rest of her cast. And can we just leave a film clearly made in black and white as black and white? On top of that, I've said this 1,000 times before, we don't need another version of this film when the original is perfect. It's perfect and 100 years of cinema, and we still can't capture the level of fear that the original monster put us through in the very original. Instead, we get, and I hate to say this about my boy Billy Skarsgård, and I mean it's not his fault because he's playing a role, but this Nosferatu wasn't even scary.
Nope.
We didn't need this film. It was too long. It added nothing new or original to the story. I didn't love this at all. In fact, at times, I didn't even like it at all. It's getting a very, 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 very low meh for mostly the atmosphere and the score. The score is fantastic. Because the rest of it, I just found another Dracula film that just wasn't... And the CGI snow was so horrible. In the original Nosferatu...
But they had rats.
Yeah, they had rats. The only thing they didn't have in
trained
the
the rats,
original
apparently.
Nosferatu doesn't fuck Lily in the original either, which makes no fucking sense. I don't know why they needed to sexualize this movie. It has nothing to do with sex, the original film. This just
Well, the
sucked.
ending confused me, but
This sucked the
that's not
blood
the way-
out of my whole
unless
body.
It was in the book. I don't think that's how the original ended, but yeah, I didn't like the way it
This
ended.
this was so close to a rage for me. If I didn't
Yeah.
love the atmosphere, this would have made
Yeah,
a
well,
rage.
I knew that going in, you weren't going to like it, so
And what say you, Mer?
not quite that.
All right.
Finally, a vampire film worth watching, because I've seen a lot of bad shit over the last year and a half. One of them starred Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, it was great.
No, it was not.
It was fantastic.
I don't remember the original. Plus, it was a silent film, so the story was a little harder to follow.
Not really.
This version, at least, was taken directly from the Bram Stoker book. In this case, we have the Skarsgård as the Count.
The greatest of all
Nicholas
Skarsgård.
Hoult as the Keanu Reeves character. Johnny Depp's daughter as the Winona Ryder character. Aaron Taylor Johnson as some random dude. And, of course, the great Willem Dafoe as the Van Helsing. It was certainly bloody and violent, as a vampire film should be. And dark. Oh, so dark. I was really looking forward to this film, and I was mildly disappointed. It was good, but I still prefer the Gary Oldman version. So, very high meh.
All right.
Okay.
Wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
All right, Bryce.
Nosferatu.
You're a huge Eggers fan, so
I am a huge Eggers
I am
fan.
like so anxious to hear what you think of this new Eggers.
Well, sir, this film was doomed from the start, as
No!
the original was not going to be topped. Everything fell flat, especially the design of Count Orlok. He kind of looked like...
Thank you.
He looked like Snidely Whiplash from Dudley Do-Right
Yes,
cartoons.
he had a beard or
yeah,
mustache.
it's
Like,
weird.
What the fuck was
I'm
that?
like, it's Snidely Whiplash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was underwhelmed from the beginning right through to the end. Was there some cool visuals? And was the sound
Yes,
great? Of
yes.
course there was. This is an Eggers film.
Yes.
But with its inevitable comparison to the original, it was impossible to succeed in this endeavor. He just had no chance. He literally had no
He
chance.
had no chance. So why did he do it?
Why did he do it? This was not terrible, just not necessary.
Yes.
It was a low meh.
What is happening right now?
We didn't even watch this together.
Did we watch it together?
No.
We didn't watch it together. We didn't even know. It was like-
We didn't know what each other thought, but you could have flip-flopped our reviews. They're the same.
I went on Boxing Day. This is my double feature day.
Oh,
So, yeah.
that's. It was, I
We
think-
watched it through the same eyes this time,
Yes.
Jim.
Yes. Okay. So in defense
Yes.
to Harbin, I am a huge fan of war movies, and Bryce is not.
Oh, why are we talking about Harbin, that piece of crap still?
You mean the Mondo?
Yeah,
that I absolutely love.
Rage.
That might make my favorite film of last year.
Yeah. Can we move on?
It quite possibly could be my
Please
most...
let us move
Wait,
on.
you know what to do. We got buttons to press.
All right.
All right, okay.
All right,
We're
go-
cranking this through. We only got
go talk about your
We've
cartoons.
only got 3 films left, and all of them are animated.
We're all freaking
They are, aren't
They are. Okay, let me tell you a story about a live-action lion. Well, actually, a CGI iteration of a live-action lion, where we get the prequel to the live-action Lion King. Is that right? I forget. Wasn't there a?
No, it was. It was.
There was
it
a-
Yeah, it's a prequel.
It was Mufasa and Scar
No,
when they were kids.
But wasn't there a live action?
No, there was a live action version
of the Lion
original.
King too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
so the Lion King came out, and now we're having the prequel
Okay,
to
so
that.
this
to
isn't
that.
this wasn't the prequel to the Lion King, the original animated film. It's the CGI live action
I don't know if it was.
Yeah, they're-
reimagining
they're
of.
basically
I don't know if it
the
was the same. I
same.
don't know if it was the same actors.
And
though.
you know, ultimately, I can't remember what live live actions they haven't does because they just keep making these things for some reason.
Just wait for Snow White to come out.
Well, this isn't really
Don't
live.
even get me started.
How is this live action, Jim?
Because it's CGI instead of animated.
I don't know. That's what they call it.
It's like CGI lions, so it's live action.
Anyways,
I guess.
let's get on
Okay,
with it.
well, CGI animals are all done to the highest quality of fake animated live action.
Yes.
Than most fake animated animal films. I mean, except the Planet of the Apes series, which I think Bryce still thinks they're wearing costumes, but like
Those were impressive costumes.
They're real apes.
I think maybe they're real apes.
They're just guys in like costumes, aren't they?
No, they're real apes, aren't they?
I think they might have.
That's how good it looked.
That's how good it looked. Yeah,
Anyways.
so the CGI is great-ish, except for the water. And I go, well, doesn't Disney own the Avatar franchise? So
They do.
Why did they not get the Avatar water CGI? Because the water was horrible in this. In this, we get a movie.
As long as you don't use the fire CGI from Avatar.
Yeah, no, just the water. He got water right this time. He's going to get fire right next time.
Oh, I thought
he's going to get
okay.
$3 billion to make CGI fire.
CGI fire instead of
I have made fire
instead of striking a match.
and making real stuff. No, he wants to spend $3 billion
Whatever.
to make
Anyways,
CGI.
you were saying.
fire. So in this, we get a movie that was never needed in a format that's annoying. And I mean, only worst thing about CGI live action talking animal movies that follow zero reality is when you make a road trip movie, adding in all the characters from the first Lion King and throw so much dialogue in, any kid watching this would have been bored out of their motherfucking skulls. I mean, I know I was. We had what seemed like hours and hours of talking as our crew was road tripping. And then I guess the director would say, you know what's missing from here? We've been talking for, it seems like
song.
6 hours. Let's add a song or two, which were also not very good. The
Terrible.
story was very transparent. I mean, this is Mufasa's origin story. So if you've seen The Lion King, you kind of know what's going to happen.
Scar's origin story.
No,
Kind of both.
Mufasa was Mufasa all the way through,
At the-
but it was this adopted brother of his, Scar or whatever, that
Ultimately
turned evil.
murdered.
No, Mufasa's the adopted one.
Yeah, in this one, it's
I
Mufasa's
thought,
adopted.
I thought Scar was the adopted one.
No.
Oh, there you go.
So maybe it was...
Maybe you need to see
maybe-
this.
Maybe you need to see this.
You got some learning to do, mister.
Maybe Scar had a point. He was the rightful
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, okay.
Now
Well,
you can go watch that movie again through different eyes.
That's
and go,
right, okay.
You know what? Mufasa's a dick.
He is a
Apparently
dick.
he was.
Wait, I'm not even there yet. Let me finish this. I'm actually trying to figure out who this was actually made for. I mean, kids will maybe relate to it because they're talking animals.
They do
Maybe.
like talking animals.
They do like talking for some reason, but I really feel there isn't enough singing to keep them interested because this is so much close-up CGI talking animals.
There's a lot of talkie-talkie.
There's a
by
lot
the
of.
animals.
It's not just talking. It's
And
CGI
singing.
close-up
And close-up,
talking
yes.
animals.
But
Mostly.
did you see the expressions on their face, Jim?
No.
You could see
They're not
expressions.
real animals.
Yeah,
But you could see the joy and the fear all in your eyes. It was
yeah,
so
because
good.
that's what kids are wanting
Just
to
make
see.
it animated. They
Anyways.
should've just made it animated.
Yeah. So anyway, this seemed like the plot was kind of complex, but also at the same time expands to really nothing. The CGI animals were well done. There really isn't much humor in it at all. I didn't laugh once through this entire movie. And it's a road trip movie where we needed live action CGI talking and singing animals. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. And it's 2 minutes shy of 2 hours, which I think if they were making this as a kid's film,
90.
there's no fucking way a kid who would maybe even think this was any good
Say for 2
could
hours.
last for 2 hours
They can't
to
say
see
for 10
talking,
minutes.
singing, CGI,
Yeah.
live action animals. This was the biggest rage over the Christmas vacation for
Really?
me. I hated everything about it. And
right.
I just have one thing to unpack, which
All right.
was who was the victim here? I suggested Scar.
I agree with you.
I was on Team
Mufasa's
Scar.
a total dick.
He totally moved in on his girl.
Yeah.
You made your point.
It's bros before hoes, man.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the first rule of lead CGI live action talking animals.
I tell you. All right, did you ever say to yourself, I would like to see a film about Simba's dad, Mufasa?
No, I never said that once.
Well, if you said yes, then I guess this was made for you. If you do not even know what I am talking about, then don't see this film. Unless you need some bad musical numbers performed by CGI lions in your life, then definitely see this. I hated this, and I cannot even believe I kept my eyes open through the entire thing. But at least,
But there's a big but.
but at least I got to see it in IMAX 3D.
Oh.
Rage!
You
This
know,
was god awful. I don't even want to talk about it. Jim covered everything you need to hear. It's just bad.
it's horrible. Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Oh, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's no surprise. I don't like anything about video game movies.
What?
The concept to begin with, where you have video games brought into a human universe, is completely idiotic and stupid, which is me most of the times, as we know. And most of the times, the stories of video games movies are all throwaway anyway. And we have already seen in the other Sonic movies, they have the exact same plot.
right.
Bad guy who's
Yep.
misunderstood, then they fight Sonic. He convinces them to be a better person. They make up, and then you pass the boss level, and the movie ends.
Yeah.
So, no surprise. This is not
Can't
different
miss
than any
formula.
of its
Can't
predecessors,
miss formula.
except
Yes.
this one
Keanu Reeves.
was all of that. Same awfulness, but it was also a Mission Impossible type story that had Jim Carrey playing himself and his grandfather
Yeah, I saw that.
in some of the funniest scenes he has ever done, and the dialogue at time was adult-centered
Oh, man, that's
and made me
talent.
laugh every and not just one time, Murray. Every single time he was on screen with himself together, I was laughing my ass off. Everything else was basically throwaway, as I predicted after seeing the trailer, but I was wrong about one thing. I actually had fun in this movie. This was the best of all of the Sonics. We didn't need it at all, but I laughed so much at this, it brought it to meh for me.
Wow.
I did not. I went to this movie expecting I was going to hate it like I've hated every other Sonic movie, but you heard me laughing through the movie.
Yeah, I
was
laughed
laughing
too.
I was laughing my ass off.
There were some funny scenes.
It was. I couldn't stop laughing. The rest of it's all horrible.
It's
But
really bad,
It was.
Jim.
I just laughed my ass off. So I
It has
couldn't.
James Marsden in it.
I love
Yeah,
James
that's
Marsden.
usually. I also
He's
love James
adorable.
Marsden, but you know.
I am not going to lie. As with all Sonic movies, I was absolutely dreading this, but after watching this, I can honestly say that this was by far the best of the franchise.
Hey, that's what I said.
I actually laughed not as many times as Jim. I would say 3 or 4 times. And here's the kicker, though. I wasn't trying to crawl out of my skin the entire time.
Yes!
As was the case in the first 2 films.
Yes.
There are some genuinely entertaining scenes, but a few laughs and being better than its stunningly awful predecessors do not a good movie make, Jim.
What? Okay,
This was still a rage.
This is coming from somebody that I think.
This was still
do you remember?
a rage.
Do you remember?
It was almost watchable, but it was a rage.
It was watchable for Jim
Almost.
They had
Carrey.
Keanu Reeves.
Was Keanu Reeves in this?
Yeah, he was the other voice.
Oh, the little
he was
fox.
the bad guy.
Was he?
No, he was Shadow.
He was the bad
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
The guy who kicked their asses apparently the whole movie.
He did
Yeah,
kick their
that
ass
was-
the whole movie.
That was
That
Keanu. I thought
that
you knew
was-
that.
No.
Yeah, no, it was Keanu Reeves.
Good for you, Keanu. Maybe that's why I loved it so much.
There
It had
you
Keanu
go.
Reeves in it.
Had the
There you go.
Keanu factor.
Okay, so let me make this clear. This movie is really horrible,
Yeah.
but I had fun because
That's
Jim
fu-
Carrey is
I'm not gonna-
absolutely at the top of his game.
You know what?
He's
I'm not going to say that your review is totally out to lunch. It's an awful movie. You fell on the side I was just entertained enough to mad, and I fell on the side that I wasn't quite entertained enough not to rage it.
I just found it funny because I don't remember what movie this was now, but you laughed once in a movie and you gave it a mad because of there was 20 seconds of
Oh,
film.
stop it, Jim.
It was. Remember
You and
that,
your-
Murray?
You and your revisionist history.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to say.
Hmm.
If you liked the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, which we did not,
You'll love this
you're
one.
going to love this
I
one.
hope.
Yeah,
I
you're,
liked the
you're
game.
totally because I cannot tell you how funny Jim Carrey is in this. I just want to see all
There are
the
some
clips
funny scenes,
of Jim
Mur.
Carrey in this together with himself in this movie, and I just want to watch that. on repeat.
That's fair.
He's a pro at hamming it up, that's for sure.
Okay.
And then there was one.
The final CGI animated film
No, there wasn't CGI.
it wasn't hand drawn.
Really?
Yeah.
They're making stuff that looks hand drawn out of CGI. It's just go to hell, Hollywood.
Yes. So Lord of the Rings meets anime with similar soundtrack / score that PJ did for the Lord of the Rings series. It's in the universe of Middle-earth, so we do get a few orcs, elves, magic eagles, dumbass leaders of Rohan who apparently don't listen to their kids, just like the original movies. We get a female heroine, some cool battle scenes, amazing animation, and a bit of typical Lord of the Rings type storyline. As you know, if you've been listening to this, I am a huge fantasy genre fan in films in general. And this did fill a void that had been missing since seeing Dungeons & Dragons back in 2023, which I think we all enjoyed. I liked it. It was meh.
Really?
Yeah.
So apparently this was released to theaters as Warner Brothers had to release something in order to maintain the franchise's theatrical rights. And that is exactly what it feels like. It is simple, underdeveloped, and overly long.
It's too long.
Yeah, and it will have you absolutely fighting to keep your eyes open. Not even a fanboy of The Lord of the Rings will enjoy this. This was a rage. This was awful.
I didn't hate it.
I hated it.
Because it was all Lord of the Ringsy.
Yeah, was it? I don't even know. But by the way, this is coming from someone that if you ask me, Lord of the Rings, whatever it was, part 1, the Ring of Destiny,
Yep.
Rage. Part 2, March of the Furry Ring or whatever it was,
Penguins?
Rage. Part 3, Return of the Ring, Rage.
Return of the Rage.
Hobbit, Rage.
Mondo.
They're all
They're
awful.
Mondo. They're all fantastic.
And this
except this one.
was worse.
This was worse. That's why it was a meh. Because all the other ones were Mondo.
Anyways, just to give you a little bit of
But you did-
background,
but
I
wait.
hated all of those movies.
I know we can tell, but you did
was
like.
not a
And usually I like walking around movies, and there's a lot of walking
There's
around in
so
those
much
movies.
There's so
walking
much
around.
walking in these. Okay, but you do remember you did like Dungeons and Dragons, though, right?
It was fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings isn't fun. It's
No,
just bad.
it's great, but it's not fun. You're right.
No, it's not fun.
No, that was
Oh my god.
we did it. We did.
That was
the
a lot of
first
movies,
part.
Jim.
No,
We
it took
did-
an hour.
Now we're only like 10% of the way through the episode.
I'm looking at Jim's.
We're almost an hour in. We got about 6 hours to
We're
go.
almost an hour in. It's a good thing I'm not doing a minute.
Let's pick up the pace. Come on, go.
Good thing,
All right.
good thing I'm not doing my minute this week. It would be
Yes.
an hour and a half.
Well, you're getting a rage,
I
so
don't need to have one.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
okay. So I know Bryce hates it when I have multiple rages, but
Sure do, Jim.
this one is
have one of mine.
completely justified.
I
So
never go.
the first rage.
Make it quick. I'm watching Switchback.
Okay. I knew you were watching Switchback. You always watch Switchback when we're doing our episode. Okay. So, I was super excited. This is my first rage. I was super excited because I thought if I'm going to have to see a live action talking animal musical prequel
Yeah.
to the live action Lion King,
Yes.
I at least want to see this in IMAX. So I said to Bryce, hey, Bryce, you know what we really need to do? Is if we're going to see anything in IMAX this season, we
Yes.
got to see Lion. We got to see Mufasa. And he's
You're
like-
welcome.
And he's like, yeah, that's a really good idea. We should see it in IMAX because that's what it was intended to be shown.
See it in IMAX.
That we did, but what made it even better, Murray, is do you remember the
Was
last
it
time
3D?
it was in 3D?
Nice, but it wasn't advertised 3D.
no, it was
It
advertised.
was advertised, but Bryce didn't tell me. So we get there and he's
It's
like,
the only time we
he's-
could get.
It's the only time we
Was
could
this
get.
Chinook?
Yes.
Yes.
So Bryce is like, oh, by the way, it's also in 3D.
At least they
Best
warned
part
you
was
ahead
is
of
Jim
time.
didn't notice until we were basically walking into the theater. It's like here are the 3D.
And somebody
glasses.
handed you the glasses.
And I'm like-
just
and I'm like,
before he
"What?"
handed him the glasses, I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, it's in 3D.
So that's like an extra $5.
Yeah, but you got the fancy IMAX 3D glasses.
Yeah, you know what? I took the glasses off about halfway through the movie. It didn't
Does it make a difference? As it never does with 3D.
It's so horrible.
For the 30
Wow, it's
seconds at a
fuzzy.
time when it's actually in 3D, you don't need them the rest of the time.
It was fuzzy.
Okay, so it really doesn't matter because this movie was horrible.
I
Okay.
wish I would have watched it with
So-
my eyes closed.
So now this is my real rage
Okay.
because I mean that was just funny actually. It was like a big burn that Bryce did on me. He's like, you want me to fucking take you to IMAX, bitch? You're gonna watch it in 3D. Okay, let me read off the 2024 worldwide box office and see if you guys can guess what my rage is for this season. The number one.
Wicked?
I'm going from number 1
It's sequels.
down.
Sequels.
Number 1 down to number
Or
10.
remakes.
So number 1, Inside Out 2. Number 2, Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay, this is
Sequel.
This is
Worldwide
worldwide box office.
Yeah, keep on
Number
going.
3, Despicable Me 4. Number
Sequel.
4, Moana 2.
Sequel.
Number 5, Dune Part 2.
Sequel.
Number 6, Wicked. Number 7. Okay, so now Wicked is a no, it's
Remake
not.
I guess
of
it's
a
a-
Broadway
No, it's
play.
technically not.
You think it's a sequel? Okay.
It's a prequel to number
prequel,
2,
yeah,
number
yeah.
1, and it's
Yeah, yeah,
also part of Wizard of Oz.
Okay, fair enough.
Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire.
Sequel.
Kung Fu Panda 4.
Sequel.
Venom: The Last Dance.
Sequel.
Beetlejuice.
Sequel.
Now, this does not
Venom in
change.
top 10?
Yep. So this does not change
Good
until
for Venom. It was
till
good.
we
I
hit
liked it.
number 15. So that model that you've been pegging off, it doesn't change until we get to 15.
Yep.
And then,
Well,
of course,
Of
what?
course, the thing that isn't surprising, which, yeah, you pointed out, is half of the top 10 are fucking cartoons.
Yeah.
Half!
Yeah. Well,
By
if you-
Disney!
Okay, if you count all the CGI
Everything's
that's in
Disney.
all of these,
No,
they're all
actual-
animated.
actual
Yeah.
animated,
the
though.
entire
everything's animated.
top 10 is animated. Okay, so and then of course the number 15 movie that changed that was horrible. So then if we go all the way to the top 25 movies of last year worldwide, only 3 movies aren't part of this trend.
Okay.
So this makes this the worst year in movie history.
Oh, just you wait.
I don't know. Is it
2020
possible to go more than
2025
88% sequels?
2025 is going to be worse, trust me.
Sequels and prequels and
Is it
remakes?
3 out of 25 is
88%.
yeah, that's the worst it's ever been.
Yeah. There you go.
Sure.
This infuriates me, and I can guarantee I wouldn't be in Korea, Bryce.
What?
That would never happen in Korea.
Okay.
Korea would.
Yeah. Korea's got sequels too, I'm sure.
We've seen one. We saw one last year.
Yeah,
There you
it wasn't Busan.
No,
two?
well, that was like
Anyways,
back a while ago.
point
Well, it
taken.
was still a sequel.
Too many remakes, too many sequels.
Yeah, well.
Too much crap fest.
Too much crap.
There's more coming. So just,
Unoriginality runs rampant in Hollywood. We all know that.
Fest.
well, I don't really have a rage since Jim took 2. I'll keep it brief. Big, huge movies that come out on Christmas Day, which is a trend. Like, not just big box office movies, the ones that are, like, going to be up for lots of awards.
I mean, they're popular.
They all come out on Christmas Day. So basically encouraging you to not spend time with your families and go to the theater.
Exactly.
But when I went on Boxing Day, the theater was packed.
Okay.
So everybody's going out on Boxing Day to see movies.
Why didn't you just go on Christmas Day?
Because it was Christmas Day. I was watching football.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's watching
I
Switch.
was watching my team lose.
That makes sense.
Anyway, no, I went on Boxing Day and used 2 of my freebies. And yeah, it was
Freebie.
packed.
There
But
you go.
yeah, like all the big movies of the year come out Christmas Day. That's stupid. Anyway, that's it.
Well, except when they come out the long weekend in May.
Well, that's the start of the summer movie season. That's different. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got.
People should be drinking.
Right, hungover.
May 2 for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Is this related to scene points?
No.
Is it related to Landmark or Cineplex?
Is it related to that
It's a-
theater you guys went to?
it's a
No.
real-
Oh,
Is it a real?
Stop trying to guess my
It's a
rage.
real rage this
I'm not that predictable there, Jim.
yeah, you are.
That is not true.
88% of your rage is
I put effort into my rages. I don't half-ass them like you. I hate the fact that studios have limited releases around Christmas just so that they can qualify for award season.
Yeah.
This has become more and more ridiculous over the years. This year, September 5, The Brutalist, The Last Showgirl, A Better Man, and The Room Next Door, to name a few, and that's not all of them, all got very limited releases to qualify for the 2024 awards season.
Yep.
I did not get to see any of them, which is a bit of a problem when I'm compiling a list of the best of 2024. This is crap. Either release your film everywhere to qualify, or release your film next year. That's my rage.
You know what?
Has anyone seen The Brutalist?
No.
Because it won 3 freaking awards at the Globes.
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
What's the Globes?
The one the Europeans
Is
vote
that an
for.
award show?
The Golden
It's an
Globes,
award
yeah.
show.
Yeah, it was on Sunday.
They also give like a crapo for
No, but
TV.
the Brutalist won all the awards. I never even
Yeah,
heard of it.
Brutalist won a lot of. In fact, well, there's a few. Another on a tiny aside, Amy Adams got nominated for
Something?
Night Bitch,
Night Bitch, which
we never got up
never
here.
came out. Yeah,
but I
would've
can
gone to that one.
watch it now, so I should do that in the next
There you
couple
go.
days because I do
Anyway.
want to see it.
All right.
Who doesn't want to see Amy Adams
Yeah,
being
that's
a
right.
night bitch?
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my rage.
Rage
Beauty.
subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
All right, here we go.
The moment.
An hour into our podcast.
An hour in.
Yes.
All right. Hit us, Bryce.
All right, you ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
So we're going to start with our Rage 5s for the year. That is the worst movies of 2024. My list starts with a tie. Tied for number 5. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Terrible, unnecessary sequel. Jason Reitman at his worst. Also tied for number 5. Gladiator 2. Terrible, unnecessary sequel. Did not know Denzel Washington could be quite that bad. Number 4. Hitman. Director Richard Linklater
Oh, I
and
forgot
Glenn
about
Plowell. A match made in hell.
And Glenn
Did I say
Powell,
Plowell? He deserves to be mispronounced.
the new Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Linklater and Powell, a match made in hell. Number 3. It ends with us.
Not Blake Lively.
This film is a mess, and Blake Lively is repulsive no matter what you two say.
I didn't say anything about it.
I don't care about her acting. She's married to my guy Ryan.
Yeah, she's hard to watch.
She doesn't have to act. She has like 5 kids.
Yeah, but she does
her
act,
husband's
and
a
I have to
billionaire.
watch it every now
And her
and then,
husband's a
Murray.
billionaire.
It's true.
Number 2, Twisters. Glenn Powell can do no right. Terrible, unnecessary. We'll call it a sequel. Number 1,
With a bullet? Oh, it's got to be.
There's
It's
only
got to
one-
be Ride or Die.
Bad Boys Ride or Die, baby. Terrible, unnecessary sequel. Jeez, this kind of goes in with your rage.
That's
for
kind
the-
of a theme going
Yeah.
on.
What?
Martin Lawrence, however, never lets me down. He's always repulsive.
He's always repulsive.
God, there was a lot of bad movies this year, man, and those are 6 of them.
Thank the load. All right, the Mur.
There's way too many crappy movies to mention.
Yeah.
I guess my honorable mentions. We're doing that, right?
Yeah. He just didn't make an honorable mentions.
Yeah, I'm not half-assing it like you guys, just willy-nilly throwing all sorts of
I'm
stuff
just
out
gonna
there.
rattle
Oh, no,
them
mine aren't thrown
off. Venom,
Was awesome.
Y2K, The Crow, Civil War, and a last place tie for 5th. Every horror film that I saw last year.
Every
Now
single
my
one.
Rage 5.
Okay.
My actual Rage 5.
Yes. Number 5.
Twisters.
Yes.
Nice.
Horrible remake of an original movie that wasn't that good in the first place. except
All
for
right.
Bill Paxton.
Garbage.
Glenn Powell, you're no Bill Paxton.
Glenn Powell, you just suck.
Trap.
Oh yeah,
I
Trap.
said before.
Forgot about
I'm
Trap.
pretty
No, I remembered it, but
pretty sure M. Night made
it was
this
awful.
film for the explicit reason to show off his daughter's singing abilities. That's the only reason he made it.
awful.
Boring and predictable, not to mention ridiculous.
Yes.
Reagan.
Oh, Reagan's awful.
I actually liked Ronald Reagan before this film. Considering how the U.S. election turned out, I'm convinced more than ever this movie was made just to get votes.
Maybe it
To
did
show
get
how
part of it.
Republicans could actually be nice. Because, that's the only reason this movie was made. Borderlands.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
awful.
yeah.
Ironically, Jack Black was the best part of this movie.
Yeah, and Murray's never said
And
that.
I can't stand him. Everything else was crap. Number 1, Megalopolis. Or as I call it, Crapalopolis.
It's a hard
Crapalopolis.
watch.
Francis
Hey,
Ford,
he was taking some swings, Omer.
Francis Ford Coppola sold almost everything he had to make this. And it bombed spectacularly. So, yeah. Good job.
So a good way to go to your grave.
Here's
way to
the
end your
thing.
career.
For the most part, we always seem to agree on our Rage Fives.
Not
Maybe
always.
not. Maybe not
No,
your.
because one of yours is
your
one of my
honorable
Mondos. So, yeah, not all the time.
Oh yeah, he gave Ghostbusters a Mondo.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, here is my rage dishonorable mentions.
Alrighty.
You know what? And here's the thing. If you're listening and you really want to hear us talk more deeper about these films, just go to our website, filmrageyyc.com. Go to our page that has our 2024 reviews on it and just search the movie. Because we've got them all there. You've got a
That's how I
link
did it.
directly to it.
I couldn't remember
And
anything.
you can go back and listen to it.
I had to use the website to do my research because
There you go.
I forgot what I watched.
We do too, because we see too many
Absolutely.
movies. Okay, number 3, dishonorable mention, is Werewolves. Number
bad.
2 is Megalopolis.
That's bad.
Number 1, which probably should have made it into the top 5, or tied if I was
Make it a
pulling
tie
a
for
Bryce.
5.
Tied for 5. Here. Tied
That's so
with
bad.
Trap. It's like
Trap.
2-syllable words, both
One-syllable
syllabalically, one-syllable words. Well, if you do it together as one word,
Synonymous.
it's a here trap.
It's crap.
It's here trap is crap. Number 4, Gladiator 2.
So bad.
Number 3, Reagan.
Yep.
And I think Bryce forgot about this one.
No. I saw Reagan, but
Not that one.
next one.
My number 2
Oh.
was Protocol 7.
I did forget.
You
about
totally
that.
how that did not make your top 5
I-
is
I-
beyond
you
me. That movie was so horrible.
I'd watch it over Ghostbusters.
But no, you wouldn't. I remember when
would.
you walked out of the movie theater of that.
I didn't walk out.
We cried out. is
Stop,
what we
I
did.
never walk out of anything.
Okay, and the only thing worse than Protocol 7 from last year,
Yep. Bad Boys, Ride or Die.
Bad Boys Ride or Die, the absolute worst movie of last year. And why they keep making these fucking horrible Bad Boys movies is beyond me. They are the most unlikable people.
Yep.
They leave a wake of if they're supposed to be cops, they have it's no wonder people are afraid of cops in the US, because if this is how they treat people around them, it's no wonder.
Yeesh.
These movies are horrible. Just please stop making them.
Yes, indeedy.
Just do it. All right. Armando's.
You're up, Merman.
All right, you're probably not going to like this.
Ghostbusters.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Argyle. Yes, I liked it. Henry Cavill as James
Okay.
Bond. That's all I'm going to say. I don't give a shit about anybody else. I just liked him. Lisa Frankenstein.
What?
Kind of like a Heather/Beetlejuice combo. Very 80s.
Okay.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. OG Ghostbusters. I don't care about the new ones. Gets me every time. Fly Me to the Moon. Scarjo and Tay-Tay. Done by the best writer in television.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going by top 10, am I? All right, then.
Yep.
Number 10. I Am Celine Dion. Besides being a huge fan of hers, it was devastating to watch what she's going through.
Good pick, Merman.
It's a good movie.
Number 9. Unstoppable. A feel-good sports biopic that actually was inspirational because the guy had one freaking leg, and he still did all that.
I don't even remember. What was Unstoppable?
It was a wrestler with one leg. It was Jennifer Lopez and
Oh, I never. Did I see it?
Cheadle. I think Don Cheadle was in it.
I didn't see it.
It was a Sif.
Oh, I missed it.
How can you not root for a wrestler with only one leg? Like it was.
I never
awesome.
root for people with in sports movies.
8.
Just grow another
one. Christopher Reeve's story. will always be the best Superman in my books.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Became an even
Never saw
bigger
it.
hero
You didn't
of
get to see
mine
it?
after his accident. Like before, when he actually became quadriplegic, he was an even bigger hero for me. But yeah, I was literally 6 years old when the movie came out. So yeah, he was my hero for all time. Wicked Little Letters, raunchy British comedy.
Yeah,
I love
I
this.
liked
okay.
it. We liked
Jesse
it.
Buckley and Olivia
I
Colman.
love Jesse. Buckley.
Amazing.
Love Olivia Colman too.
Last Stop in Yuma County.
Another great
Easily
one.
my
That was
favorite of Sif last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that made Mondo for all of us.
Everything I loved about Bad Times at El Royale and
don't like you
more.
compared it to it. But
It's the same kind of movie. Humane. Baby Cronenberg. Perfectly written thriller.
Yeah.
Also
Yes.
one of my Sif
very
favorites.
good.
Yeah, it was good. Also
Boy-
made our Mondo list.
Boy Kills World. A Skarsgård kicking ass. Count me in.
The best Skarsgård.
My favorite of Cuff. Not that I got to see a lot.
Yep.
Goodrich. I know you guys hated it.
No, I
What can I say?
Yeah, I hated it.
It
can't
affected
remember.
me deeply
Oh, yeah, I did hate it.
and starred my favorite Batman, Michael Keaton.
Nice.
Number 2, Saturday Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Made
That
me
was very good.
nostalgic for the OG cast, back when SNL was actually funny. This frantic pace was a thrill ride. Also, Jason Reitman.
Yeah, it's
One of
funny
my
how
favorites.
Jason Reitman had
I
one of the
love it.
best movies and one of the worst
Two of my
movies.
top 10s. I love them. And of course, number 1, Deadpool
versus Wolverine.
No
It was fun.
surprise here.
It was a lot of fun.
Three
My
Mondos.
2 favorite Marvel superheroes next to the God of Thunder.
Nice.
Reynolds and Jackman together. So yeah.
Sweet.
There was not a movie that I liked better than that one.
Very
Nice. It was a fun time.
good. It was.
It was a good list, Murph. Okay. My honorable mentions. Number 5.
You're ranking your honorable mentions? All right.
Yeah, well,
Why not?
shouldn't they be?
Sure. Why not?
Number 5 was Rats.
Rats.
Okay, and so I need to tell everybody.
Rats is so good.
I need to tell everybody when I make a list at the end of the year, or the beginning of the year in this case, one of the things that I look at, other than how much enjoyment I got out of these films, is how these filmmakers are transforming film. And it's not just the way I felt about film in general, but when I had to put two films up against each other, and I would go, okay, is this one better? Is this one better? It's really tough when we see an amount of content that we get to see on this podcast. But for me, it's like they've done something different that isn't being done anywhere else, either by film style or whatever. So my list is very kind of leans more towards art house and more independent stuff, because that's where I'm seeing the boundaries of film being pushed. So I just want to say that. Rats is fucking hilarious. If you're going to show someone taking a dump on screen where you got the camera right where the poop lands, I'm in. From start of frame to end of frame, this made me laugh nonstop. Probably
It was fun.
I think it's the only comedy on this that I had, and I don't normally like comedies. So number 4 is a documentary called Roll Bus Roll, a Jeffrey Lewis documentary. And I love this mostly because I'd never heard of Jeffrey Lewis before, but when I saw this documentary, I went and downloaded all of his music, and I've been listening to it nonstop. For you to transform me to a fan, and if someone could say he knows he's successful because he can afford to buy a piece of pizza anytime he wants,
Yep.
he's my guy. Number 3 was transforming cryptics for me in a vision from a very artistic, I want to say artist, is Cryptic. I absolutely love this film. I think this one played at Cuff, didn't it?
I think so.
I think it was Cuff, but yeah, it's Cryptic spelled Kryptic. It is mind-bendingly fantastic. Number 2, also a doc called Grand Theft Hamlet.
So much fun.
Number 1, the best zombie movie I've seen in years, Parvulas.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, number 10 is, and this one is the absolute best slasher movie that has ever been made in the history of slashers, is In a Violent Nature. They took us to places that I could never imagine going again with a slasher film. It had, like, mind-bendingly fantastic sound for such a low-budget film. And if you're going to spend 10 minutes cutting somebody up on a saw, dial me in. Or the choppy scene, which you can hear him chopping for like ever. It was just he did not shy away from the gore. He did not shy away from the sound. He did not shy away from making us feel we were right at home as being a serial killer.
Yes.
Okay. Also, another horror movie. My favorite horror movie of last year.
Number 9.
The King Tide. This is a Canadian director. I hope everybody can find this movie and see it. Praise be to Isla. This movie was so freaking brilliant for being filmed on the east coast of Canada. This film transformed, I want to say, like folktales to a whole nother level for me. I haven't seen, like, I kind of put Cryptic and The King Tide almost in the same vein in the sense, because they're both kind of folktale-ish, but The King Tide to me was just absolutely brilliant. Number 8, probably the most mainstream film that made my top 10, and that was Conclave. The fact that I could sit and watch people open up pieces of paper for 2 solid hours and have me be absolutely thoroughly entertained. Conclave, every single actor in this was a tour de force. I freaking love this movie. Number 7, Family Therapy. A family that from the very beginning of the film to the end of the film was a family that wasn't aligned per se, but by the end of it, they are absolutely aligned. This film was... I can't even...
It was amazing.
It's such an amazing film.
That's the one film I will just say, if I had an honorable mention, it was the one that almost got in, and I swapped it out with something else at the last second.
Oh well. Yeah, it's brilliant, this film. Number 6, Small Things Like These, with Cillian Murphy in his most brilliant portrayal. If you thought he was good in Oppenheimer, you ain't seen nothing yet. He can just sit there and make a face, and it makes me more excited to see 28 years later. This film was so brilliantly done. Number 5, from China, called Black Dog. This film is visually one of the most visually brilliant films I've ever seen, and how you can take like a decaying city in China and turn it into just one of the most interesting films I've seen. It's mind-bendingly good.
It was really good.
Number 4, who would have thought watching Sasquatches masturbate and have sex
really
could
Sasquatch
be
Sunrise.
Sasquatch Sunrise. To me, it took us to places
It definitely did.
That I have not seen. Like, I have not seen a movie like Sasquatch Sunset ever.
It was amazing.
I was thoroughly engaged in everything that was done, and the script, even though they weren't saying anything, was brilliant. Number 3, and it's because he's the best James Bond that's ever lived, is seeing Daniel Craig be queer for 2 solid hours is enough. And especially if you want to go on a ayahuasca trip where there's lots of gay sex, then watch Queer. Queer is my number 3. Number 2, it has 2 names. One is Omen, the other is Agure. This film is brilliant, rich, and with cultural impacts and lessons from our past. It has so many layers of complexity and family dynamics, and has you challenging your beliefs and what is owed to you from your past, present, and future generations. I absolutely love this movie. I've been lucky enough to see it 4 times now in 1 year. And if I could see this, I could watch this every day of my life and never tire of it.
I know what your number 1 is.
I know you do. What is it?
Your number 1, Jim, is My Favorite Cake.
That is absolutely my favorite movie of last year, Bryce. An aging widow who's not afraid to stick up for herself and say, what's right? Falls in love after 30 years. This made me smile, and I'm still smiling when I think of this film. I didn't think that a movie with such a well, I don't know what it is. It's been a lot over the last 6 years we've been doing this podcast. A lot of times strong female roles really resonate with me, especially if they're done really well.
Yeah.
Right? And this one was she was brilliant, had the perfect ending, an ending that I thought couldn't be more perfect, and then they changed it to something I didn't expect,
Then it was even better.
and it was even better. This is an Iranian film, and I'm just like, you know what? Everybody in the world should see My Favorite Cake because it's brilliant.
All right. Good list.
Yeah.
I like that list. All right, so I got no runners up, although I will preface it with there was a lot of good film. This was one of those years where there was a lot of bad film.
Yep.
There was a lot of tremendous film this year. I don't know. We'd have to go back and take a look, but I'm not sure that over the length of this podcast that I've ever given as many Mondos out as I had
Giving
this
out
year.
like candy this year.
Nah, I wouldn't say I was. That's
You
the thing.
were.
I wasn't giving them out like
Yeah,
candy.
you were.
Yeah, we got a lot of
But
rages.
there
too.
was. I also gave probably the most amount of rages that I have in a year as well. So it was kind of a weird balance. So usually I'm meh heavy, but this I think it was either.
You normally gives mez out like candy.
That I'll say. I used to. At any rate, no runners up. These are my 10 best films of 2024. Number 10. In a Violent Nature.
What? Were you copying my list, bitch?
The slasher movie still has a pulse. Number 9, Saturday Night. Funny, intense throughout. Jason Reitman at his best. So we got him at his worst and at his best.
That's
this
right.
year.
There you go. It's a sandwich.
Number 8, Honora. You will hate everyone in this film, but you will care deeply for them by the end.
Yes, you will. That's totally true.
Number 7, Queer. Daniel Craig gives and receives like never before.
Totally does.
Number 6.
Oh, can I just say for one thing? I have never seen a cocksucking scene as good as that movie. I was just like, wowzer! This is James Bond taking it all in.
Number 6, Kneecap. A kinetic film about the preservation of native culture, in this case, the Irish language. Number 5, and this one's a little bit of a curveball, because when I went over my list, or over on our website, this movie's not on there, and I don't know why.
What?
But maybe it's because I saw it not with you at SIF, and
maybe you didn't tell me.
You didn't talk about it.
So, anyways, number 5, Memoir of a Snail.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Marion Max director Adam Elliott brings us another animated masterpiece. You'll love this movie, Jim.
Yeah.
It's so good. Number 4, About Dry Grasses.
Oh wow, yeah.
Turkish film filmed with dark humor and tragic characters. Man, this is a good movie.
There's so much walking in this movie.
There's a lot of walking, too.
So much walking.
That opening scene was just winter and walking and walking.
And if you thought walking through grass was good, you should see him walking in winter for like 15
walking through
minutes.
snow. Number 3. This is probably a record. I got 2 animated films on my top 10. I'm sorry. The Wild Robot, dark humor balanced with sentimentality. This was a perfect family film.
Nice.
And
you're right there.
It's worth mentioning, and it's number 3. I could watch this every day of my life. I just love this movie.
It's the fantastic Mr. Fox for 2024.
Number 2, Small Things Like These. Cillian Murphy in a career-defining role, a hard watch, but a must-watch film.
I can tell you I was hard all the way through it. It's definitely a hard watch. I was boned up for Cillian Murphy and how awesome he was.
No idea what's going on right now. And number 1.
Is it My Favorite Cake?
Of course it's My Favorite Cake. This is the greatest love story ever told. It is quite simply a Persian masterpiece.
Oh my God, it's
My
so
Favorite
good.
Cake. Just do yourself a favor, even if you don't watch foreign film, just seek this film out, watch it. This will be your gateway to truly great international film. Please watch My Favorite Cake. It deserves to be seen by as many eyes as possible.
Now I have a little story about this. So after we went and saw this, and I had spoken to one of my really good friends is Iranian, and we don't often talk a lot about film, but after we saw this at the festival, I forgot to talk to him about this film in particular. So it wasn't until I want to say like November, like mid-November, and I bumped into him and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. And I said, "Oh my God, I've got to tell you about this this film that I seen, and I started telling him about it. He says, "Oh yeah, my favorite cake. I already seen it." And I was like, "What? How did you see this?" He says, "Oh, I guess it's streaming on, I guess Al Jazeera TV or whatever it is." So we got it in the film festival in end of September, and he's already streamed it from there. He's like, "Yeah, I really love that movie." I'm like, "Yeah, you did."
So good, man.
That is it.
Yeah.
That's the winner. Winners.
Yes, indeed.
All right, do we have special music for our awards this year?
No.
Would you want to start the music over? Let's do a pause here and take a deep breath. All right. So the moment probably everyone's
Nobody's
been waiting for. Everybody's waiting for this.
You get more excited about this than me.
Well, here's the thing. We are not big fans.
Because you hate award shows.
I absolutely hate award shows.
You think there should be one award given every year for whatever it is, and that's
right.
it.
There should only be one award.
5 minutes ceremony.
There's way too many awards.
But we're giving out 3, Jim.
Yeah, but that's individually. If we had to come, you know what? I bet you if we racked our
we
brain,
probably wouldn't agree.
But I think there was one movie that made all top of our maybe.
I guarantee that you'll agree with mine, Jim.
You had okay, so maybe you'll agree with mine too. Who knows? All right, okay, so my Film Rage Award for this year is going to a documentary.
That's the category, going to a documentary.
The award goes to me for going to this movie.
Okay.
No, okay. So I'm not going to tell you what the name it is. You're going to guess it pretty quickly. Now, people may be asking yourself, how could you actually be giving this as your Film Rage Award when that wasn't your favorite movie? Just because it wasn't my favorite movie, it doesn't mean that this didn't change boundaries about how a certain genre of film is made. So, for creating the most unique and original documentary that has ever been created, you may ask yourself again, why this was not my number one? It's because it wasn't my favorite movie. In fact, I like a lot of narrative films, as you've already heard, but it is still the most creative and original doc that has ever been done. And for this reason alone, it gets my Film Rage Award. And Bryce, can you guess what it is?
It's not Brick by Brick.
No. It's Grand Theft Hamlet.
Oh, Grand Theft Hamlet. Because that was also an original.
It was pretty original. But this one was something I never thought that could be humanly possible, and to have as much joy as I had watching this.
And I'm guessing you never actually played the games.
No, I've never played the games.
Yeah, but Grand Theft Hamlet is one of those movies where it's like, sorry, they made a movie about what?
Yeah.
And then you're like, wow, I'm sure glad they made a movie about that.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto without the killing.
No, there's lots of killing.
I thought it was about
There's lots of killing.
In fact, doing Hamlet.
Half the time.
Yeah, they try to. They're doing it in Grand Theft Auto, man.
They're doing it in Grand Theft.
Killing people at the same time.
Yeah, you know what? I hope they have a companion on this that comes out and we actually get to see the actual performance. That would also be like the B side of this.
They showed some of it.
Yeah, I know, but I want to see
the whole thing.
I want to buy the box set of this because,
yeah.
Again, do yourself a favor, especially if you're a gamer and you've played Grand Theft Auto.
It's amazing movie.
You will have to see how they did this. It's absolutely brilliant. I know it didn't make, like, I still enjoyed the other movies more than this, but this is a genre bend for documentaries.
All right. So my Film Rage Award is for the best on-screen couple for 2024 and any other year for that matter. Maheen and Faramars, played by Lily Farhadpur and Ismail Marabi in My Favorite Cake. This is the most fantastic couple that's ever been on screen in the history of film and maybe will ever be.
Yep.
I adore them.
So it's the best on-screen
couple. Best on-screen couple for 2024.
For 2024 and maybe ever.
It's like an MTV award.
And any other year.
Well, unlike you two, I actually do like the award shows. So I'm going to go Hollywood.
Nice.
Mine is either for best box office star or best actor, whichever one you want to do. got to be Timothy Chalamet
Oh.
with a trifecta of box office performances.
That's only because Ben Affleck didn't have a movie last
Oh, whatever.
Of course, that's 100% it.
In January, I saw Wonka.
year. You did.
Then came out Dune Part 2,
Yes.
That's
which
true.
he was
Part two.
undoubtedly the star of the movie because he had all the lines. Unlike the first one where he was just a character.
All the lines.
And then, of course, wrapping it up with A Complete Unknown, where he sang, as you said, better than Bob Dylan. So, yeah.
Yes,
He had
who
like
doesn't?
the best year of anybody. So, yeah,
Yeah,
Timothy
he-
Chalamet.
Yeah, he had a good year.
Dude, that was a good
At
award.
least he bookended the year
He did.
good.
Yeah.
That thing in the middle was
He was
awful.
okay in that.
The Wayne Dune 2, the
Yeah,
best
Dune
science
2,
fiction
the-
movie of
the,
last year.
The unnecessary piece of garbage that never should have been made, yes.
Oh, that? You mean the one you
mean
gave a
part
mad
2
to?
of 3 or 4?
That's right.
Did I give it a meh? I don't even remember.
You did.
Probably did.
I don't think I did.
I don't know.
You
I
did.
I remember hating it.
You
It's
have a
hating,
selective
it's hating
memory.
you. All right, so we're not going to have a Rage or Dare today, just because we've already
Why
used
not?
up an
But it says
because I
right
don't
here.
have a movie.
Yeah,
but
you
I'm
do.
going to pull a movie now.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a movie to talk about because I've been waiting.
Saying we're skipping the whole
Yeah.
thing.
No,
That's
no,
what
we're
I
not.
thought, too.
I actually physically have to pull
like,
it.
thanks for
So
the heads
Bryce supposedly has done his homework,
Did he, though?
and he filled his bag, which I don't see any
I don't
bags
see
around.
one.
The bags are right where they always are, in the ice cream bucket there.
My bucket of rage?
Oh, is there? Oh, there's Jim. Okay, okay. This is Bryce's Dare bag.
Ooh,
Yes,
there's actually
sir.
There's a couple
So-
in there.
There's quite a few in there. There's enough to get me through the next year and a half, I think.
So this
I don't know about that.
we've been only waiting for
Oh,
this.
there's a
for,
lot in there, buddy.
for 6 months.
Yeah.
It only took 6 months
Oh,
for Bryce
just
to do
pick
his
the
job.
movie, whatever. You're always dwelling on the past, Jim. Let's look to the future.
All right. I want to see. Actually, you know what I'd like to see
Yeah.
is if they do Sonic the Hedgehog 4 inside Sonic the Hedgehog the game.
By the way, I've confirmed that you will be able to watch all of these.
Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good review on your part.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will be watching for next week the movie Six Pack from 1982.
Kenny Rogers,
Kenny Rogers?
baby.
I love that movie. Are you kidding me?
I love Kenny
It was
Rogers.
awesome. Kenny Rogers is a stock car racer. And he's got a bunch of kids as his crew. It's the best movie ever.
That's exactly what it is, Jim.
It's better than The Gambler.
Hey, Jim, it's better than The Gambler.
I've also seen that, unfortunately.
So have I. Well, they made about 4 or 5 of those, too.
Is there...
You asked for it, Jim. You are going to love my bag this
Six-pack.
year.
Well, invite me over. I want to see that.
All right, Mary, you and I will watch it together. Oh, my God. The torture we have to endure.
Right. Are we finally done?
Yeah, we are done. Whoa! Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer for the voice of Rage or Dare. And next week, we'll have Casey back. Yes! We can't wait! Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We always want to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, and send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make us rage. That's it for 2024 Rage On!
Rage on.